Lena Martin was known across the globe as the young and idealistic CEO of the humanitarian organization Empower Africa. Her name was synonymous with hope and change. She had built an empire on her image: blonde hair, flawless skin, expensive sunglasses, and an endless stream of charitable works. She was the quintessential philanthropist, the embodiment of compassion for Africa's impoverished communities. Her goal was clear: empower women, educate children, and bring healthcare to the forgotten corners of the continent. When Lena arrived in Burkina, a small, war-torn nation in the Sahel, she was welcomed with open arms. Burkina had suffered years of civil conflict, leaving its infrastructure in ruins and its people in dire need of help. Lena's organization, Empower Africa, claimed it would bring relief by focusing on women's rights, education, and healthcare. With her polished public image, Lena quickly became a symbol of hope for the locals. Her team visited schools, handed out solar lamps, and donated books. The media coverage was relentless, and soon, Lena's smiling face was everywhere. She stood with children in dusty villages, taking photos with them, speaking about a better future. She met with village leaders and ministers, praised President Ibrahim Traoré for his leadership, and gave speeches about Africa's potential. She even appeared on state television, echoing the importance of foreign partnerships in Africa's development. For all intents and purposes, Lena was a savior, a shining example of Western goodwill. But beneath the surface, Lena's mission was much darker than anyone could have imagined. While her days were filled with staged visits and photo ops, her nights were spent in secretive conversations with people in distant countries. Encrypted phone calls to a contact named Jules in Paris and emails with subjects like Operation Blue Dawn or Phase Red flooded her inbox. What Lena didn't realize was that Empower Africa was not a charity, it was a cover for a much more sinister operation: espionage. Lena's real job was not to help the people of Burkina. Instead, she had been collecting intelligence for a network of foreign entities. She had a detailed map of the country, carefully marking locations of military bases, security patrols, and drone delivery zones. It was no accident that the villages she visited were in close proximity to military training grounds or drone watchtowers. Every time she took a photo with a local woman or child, she was simultaneously gathering valuable data and sending it off to foreign operatives. Despite her best efforts to keep her real mission hidden, something about her presence in Burkina felt off to the locals. Whispers started to circulate in the villages: "She's not here to help us, she's here to find something." Back at the presidential palace, President Ibrahim Traoré had already grown suspicious. Burkina had been subjected to international meddling before, but Traoré was different from many of his predecessors. He understood that not all Western aid was given out of genuine concern. So, when Lena's encrypted emails were intercepted, Traoré knew exactly what he was dealing with. He didn't act immediately, though. Instead, he allowed Lena to continue her charade, convinced that the more she believed she was winning, the clearer her real agenda would become. It wasn't long before Traoré's instincts were proven right. On her third week in Burkina, Lena's organization was everywhere. Her name was all over the media, and she was meeting with high-ranking government officials. But in the dead of night, she had marked more military bases, strategic locations, and key sites on her map. Her real mission was becoming clearer. One night, she sat alone in her hotel room in the capital city of Ouagadougou, smiling as she sent off the final email. The map, labeled BF Field Access V2, was attached to an encrypted email addressed to a contact named Melvin in Paris. Lena's mission was almost complete, she had just confirmed what she suspected all along. But she had no idea that her every move was being tracked by Burkina's intelligence agency. The moment Lena hit send, her laptop was mirrored, her email read in real time by the Burkina Intelligence Service. It didn't take long before President Traoré had a copy of her map and all the evidence he needed. That same night, the president received a message on his encrypted line. "Let her keep going," Traoré said calmly. "The more she believes she's winning, the clearer her mission will become." The next morning, Lena held a press breakfast, hoping to maintain her friendly image as the face of Empower Africa. She wore a crisp white blouse, smiled for the cameras, and delivered a heartfelt speech about Burkina Faso's bright future. A local journalist, however, couldn't resist asking the one question no one had yet dared to: why is your organization working only in military-heavy zones? Lena laughed it off, claiming it was pure coincidence that these were the areas most in need of help. But the true coincidence was that, the same day, her USB drive, disguised as a lipstick tube, was found hidden in her bag by security officials. Inside the drive were satellite images, military convoy photos, and drone flight patterns, clear evidence of her espionage. Lena was invited to speak at the National Conference on African Sovereignty, a prestigious event that promised to showcase Africa's independence from foreign influence. She was confident that her speech would leave everyone in awe, as she had spent days crafting the perfect address. But what Lena didn't know was that this event would become the stage for her public downfall. Tears welled in Lena's eyes as the truth hit her like a ton of bricks. In an instant, her reputation was shattered. She was no longer a beloved philanthropist, she was a traitor. A foreign agent. Betraying the very people she claimed to help. As she was escorted off the stage by plainclothes officers, President Traoré spoke directly to the audience. They send soft faces now, but beneath them are the same old plans. We will not be fooled. Not anymore. The news spread quickly. The video of Lena's public exposure went viral, spreading across social media platforms, news outlets, and television stations. She was no longer the humanitarian she once appeared to be. Instead, Lena became a symbol of deception and betrayal. 3 days later, Lena was sitting alone in a government facility just outside Ouagadougou. Her mission collapsed. No cameras. No press. Just the weight of her lies and the world's gaze on her. As for President Traoré, he continued to lead Burundi with unwavering strength, his message clear: Africa is no longer soft ground. If they send deception, we will expose it. Lena's downfall marked a turning point for Africa. It was no longer about charity and aid, it was about sovereignty and self-determination. And the world watched as the mask of benevolence was ripped away, exposing the true nature of those who had come to help.